Hello students, in this video I will go through exercise U5A02D where I will be finding a point that breaks a line into specified proportions. So suppose you're given coordinates for A, which is 2, 4, and B is 8, 13, and you're asked to find another point in between point A and B, point called point C, such that point C will break the line into proportions of 1 to 1. So how are you going to go about doing this? You can certainly go about this logically, and by logic I mean thinking about this visually. So what I have done here is I plotted out point A and point B together, and I drew the line segment in between. And what I'm going to do next is I want to break up this line into its components, meaning the vertical component and the horizontal component. And I can see that the horizontal component here, I move 6 over, and in vertical component, I'm going to go, what is this, 4 to 13, that would be 9, right? 9 up. So I go 6 over and 9 up. So I'm looking for a point that will divide the this line segment into proportions of 1 to 1. So in other words, 1 to 1 simply implies the midpoint, right? Because each part has the same proportion, 1 to 1. It's 50-50. 50-50 and 1 to 1 mean exactly the same thing, right? So because of this, okay, what I can do is I can identify what the midpoint is. So if I look at this, okay, if I know it's 6, from A I move 6 over, and from A I move 9 up. So from A, okay, which was originally at 2, 4, then point C will be, I'm going to move 3 to the right and 4.5 up. Right? Isn't that what it means to go to the to go to the midpoint? I'm going to go half of each of these components, right? So C will end up being 5, 8.5. All right. Next, I want to break the line up into components of into proportions of 1 to 2. Interestingly enough, okay, if I go from A to B, and again, subdivided this into its components, 6 and 9, can you see that this is already breaking up the line segment into thirds? Right? So if I'm breaking up, if I'm locating for a point C in between A and B, that will break up the line into proportions of 1 to 2, meaning from C to B, it will be twice as long as from A to C. I can already see it visually. C, letter C, will be located here, right? Where, again, I want to use a highlighter. So the left half, which is blue, is going to be half the length, or is going to be half the length of the right half, or you can think of the right half as being double the length of the left half. So if that's the case, right, C will be, again, I'm going to be going 2 to the right and 3 up, so 4 plus 3. So it's 4, 7. All right, moving on. I want to break the line up into 2, 1. So again, it's already sort of broken up for us, right? So where will C be in this case? C will definitely be there. So what would that be? So that would be, let's see here. From 2, I'm moving how much over? 4 over. And then from A, I'm moving 6 up, right? So 2 plus 4 and 4 plus 6. So C is located at 6, 10. Alright, so this is where the question starts to get a little more interesting. I want to break this up into fifths, right? Because it's proportions of 2 to 3. So if I multiply, it's the same thing as 2x and 3x, then that means the full length of the line will be 5x then, right? So if that's the case, okay, I want to figure out how am I going to break this up. So this one is a little more challenging because component-wise, okay, the full length going from A to B, okay, is still 6 over and 9 up. So what I'm going to do is I will subdivide both the horizontal component and vertical component by fifths. Because if I subdivide both the vertical and the horizontal component by fifths, then naturally all of this will be broken up into fifths. So how is that going to work? So look, if I have 6, right, then that means each of these 6 will be broken up into 6 fifths. And how am I going to be able to draw this? So each of these 6, I want to call this delta x, right? It will be 6 fifths. And I want to call this delta y. Will be 9 fifths. Okay? So how many delta x's am I going to go over to get to 2/3? Proportions of 2 to 3, or 2 fifths. Well, I'm going to move from A, which is 2, 4. I'm going to add 2 of those delta x's, and now I'm going to add 2 of those delta y's. So that will give me 2 plus 2 times 6 fifths plus 4, not plus, comma, 4 plus 2 times 6 fifths. And C will therefore end up being, what is this? 12 fifths plus 2, so it's going to be 22 fifths. And 20 plus 12, so it's 32 fifths. And this looks really odd right now, but, I'm going to figure this out in decimal. 22 divided by 5, that is 4.4. And 32 divided by 5, that's 6.4. So let's try to plot this approximately, right? 4.4, so 4 is here. 0.4 is, I want to say, like right here. Okay? And 6.4 is right where that should be. Okay? So in other words, okay, this right here, if I go 6 fifths is 1 and 1.2, right? So it's 1 and a little more. So that means it's this guy. So this is 1, 2, 1 and a little more, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's how I'm breaking up the lines, okay, into fifths. So 2 fifths is right here, which is 4.4, comma, 6.4. All right, let's move on to the next one. I want to break it up into 3 to 2. Okay, so 3 to 2, how am I going to do that? Well, again, it's the same idea. So, again, this is 6 fifths. So delta x is 6 fifths. And delta y is equal to 9 fifths. I want to move 3 from A, right? 3 delta x's and 3 delta y's from A. So C will be 2 plus 3 delta x, whoops, comma, 4 plus 3 delta y's. And that would be 2 plus 3 times 6/5, 4 plus 3 times 6/5, and that would be 28/5, and then there would be 38/5. So that would be 5.6 and 7.6. Okay?